All right. We'll go ahead and get started, and then we'll just let people in as they come in. So my name is Adrienne Barker. I'm with w360. I'm the regional director of the Western Division. I'm going to host tonight's board seminar. We're going to go over architectural request and approval process and how board members can log into your portal. So now the board members can go through and you can approve and review ARCs when you log into the portal rather than them being emailed to you. So we're going to go through that with this presentation here. So when you log into your portal, you will have on your side menu, there's a bunch of documents here and options for board members and homeowners. So where to find the documents? So homeowners can download a copy of the association's design guidelines and the ARC form for your association on their portal. So when a homeowner logs in, if they go to the side menu and under documents, they can pull copies of both. So you'll have your design guidelines under your governing documents architectural, and then the form is under documents and forms. We can upload
I'm not seeing your screen.
I'm sorry?
I'm not seeing your screen. I just have a green background. If you're broadcasting or sharing.
Is everybody else seeing it?
I'm seeing it. We're all
I
seeing
can see it.
I can see it.
So yeah, it's got to be something on your end.
I'll check.
And this will be available after the meeting too. We can share this with everybody, the presentation, so everybody can reference back to it later as well. Okay. So that is where homeowners can go to see the form and to pull copies of the design guidelines for their association prior to submitting their form. Once they are ready to submit the request itself, the same thing, they log into the portal. On the side, there's a submit requests here. They click on requests. They're going to click on new request and then the ARC request. When they click on this Google Doc form pops up. Under here is when they'll do their subject, their details. They can add all their attachments. So copies of the ARC form they've completed, their plans, photos, all those items. So this is just a sample of a completed ARC request that we received. Kind of how I mentioned earlier, if your association has a special ARC request application form that they want completed, we can add that to your portal so that that's the form that they complete. If you just have a standard one, we also have a standard one that we'll provide as well as for 360. And if you guys want any change to that, we're more than happy to customize those forms for you. What we ask for our homeowners to send in plans, photos of the completed items, any setbacks. So this is kind of what we will look for. Your management team should be looking for these items prior to even going to you guys for review. Now, the board approval process. Once we've conducted the initial review of the submitted ARC application, the board will get an email from you. This is kind of what the email will look like. It'll say application, what it's for. It's to let you guys know that you've received, that there's a new application request for you to review on the portal. So when you log into the portal, you're on the side menu, you'll go click on your board actions and then go to ARCs. Here will be a list of all the ARCs that are open for you to review at the moment. Once you open it up, you're going to have a couple of different screens here. And this screen, the board and ARC committee can review the submitted application. You can send a message to either the management team or your fellow committee members or board members. However, if you guys have a committee, they can review them this way as well. If it's the board, then you'll get them too. And you can also vote whether you approve or deny. So this is what the initial screen looks like. If you click on the button down here, send message, you'll get this little pop-up where you can type in who you want to send the message to and send your message. To review it, So we're going through that right now. And then to getting ready to review, you're going to click on this little vote button. You'll review your attachments. You'll click on the vote button. If you're going to approve it, this screen pops up then. You just click on the green approve. You can put your notes in here, like if it's a conditional approval. For example, I put must have a 5-foot setback for plant materials. If you say they want to have certain colors, most paint conduit and lines, things of that nature, you can put anything you want as a condition in here, and then you just hit submit. Same thing if you're denying it. So you can click decline, and then you put that it's an incomplete application or whatever the reason is for declining it, and hit submit.
When is that going to be effective? Because mine doesn't have it now.
So we've just put this process out. So all the managers should be turning on the module this week. So starting next week, this is how you will see it.
Because I've had 2 requests in here for a long time that I can't approve because there's no way to approve them.
So yeah, you can just email those currently over to your manager with the approvals, or if you give me at the end, if you want to give me the name of your association, I can go make sure you get set up properly.
I had that problem beginning of the week. We were using Vantaca prior to switching over to Westward, and I emailed my manager, and I had the ability within an hour to hit approve.
Yeah, so it's just a settings thing on our back end, so we can make sure that they're all turned on for you. Some managers have already done it, some are working on it this week. Yvonne?
Is there a way to make these, what's on the screen larger? Because everything is so small. You're pointing to everything, I can see you guys, but I don't.
If I do that, it cuts it off. I'm sorry. Yeah. So what happens once the ARC committee or the board members, they approve or deny the ARC, a ticket gets put back into the management queue in order to process the letters. So these are just some sample letters that I threw in here of what the letters will look like for the approval and denial. When you guys had put in the message, the conditions of what you wanted approved, those will all go on the letter if there is any, or if it's approved as is, then it will state approved as is, submitted. Same thing with the denied letter. If there's any reasoning why it's being denied, that will go into the letter as well. So homeowners will get a copy of this sent per their preference. So if they have set up to receive correspondence via email, they'll get it via email. If it's to be mailed, they'll get sent in the mail. Homeowners can also review all the correspondence and copies of this on their portal as well as the email.
Adrienne, I have a question. Okay, so back to where there was the approval form and the denial form. If we're having a board meeting and we want to review all of that, and then, or does it mean that every time someone hits approval and denial, will we see how many people approved it, how many denied it, and then make our final decision?
Yes. So in the activity notes down here, as things are getting done, it will show you, say, Jane Smith approved ARC application, John Doe denied ARC application. So all that will be in these activity notes.
Okay, and then once that is finalized, does the email go out automatically, or is there a trigger to make that go out?
To the homeowner?
Yes.
You know, there's a trigger. So your management team has to step the action item in the system to send that letter. So if you want them to always hold it until after the meeting, they can wait and trigger that letter to go out after the meeting.
Okay, and where does that happen?
So it happens inside Vantaca, but it's something that we have to trigger on our side. You wouldn't see that side.
So we would have to inform you whether it was approved or denied?
Correct. So
Okay.
this will automatically, once you guys hit the approve or deny, it automatically informs the management team of the board's vote.
Okay,
And then the management team has to step it to approve, to process the letters,
okay. Thank you.
of course. Okay. And in the portal, you guys can also review past ARCs. So if you have any questions on it and on previous ARC, say a homeowner, you've seen them install something in the front yard and you want to go see and see if it was the correct item that they did, what was approved. You can also go into the board actions, into the ARCs, and you just click on the include closed button here. And that will pull up a list of all the past ones. And once you click on them, the little screen will pop up. It'll give you the full history down below of when it was approved, what the correspondence were, and you can click review attachment to view that application again. And you can send a message at that point as well to your management team. So say somebody didn't do something that was approved on that ARC, you can send a message to them and say, please take a look at this, or send a violation letter because they didn't do as what was approved or something of that nature.
Adrian, do you have a screenshot of the view attachments? Because I've been using this for well over a year now, and that's where when I get this ARC request, you have to click on view attachments. It'll pop another window open, and in there, that's where you will see the document the resident filled out and the form, and any attachments are all in a drop-down menu for you to review.
Yeah, so I have like what should be submitted, but I don't have that screenshot, but I can log into one and show you guys.
I was going to say, I'm actually in there too.
Yeah, so I can come in here. One second, I'll pull one up and then I'll share that screen here with you guys. Okay.
Will Westward be porting over the old ones from Terra, or is it going to start all new?
I am not sure, but we can find out. I can ask our onboarding team how they're doing that. I know they'll pull copies of them into like our drives, but I'm not sure if they'll get pulled into Vantaca, but I can find out and get back to you on that.
Thank you.
My history didn't come over in the move, at least at this time. I don't see any.
Yeah. So what he was saying, so when I'm in the board and you go into an ARC, if I click on this ARC here, and then I'm going to view the attachments. It opened them on another screen.
Yeah, you should be able to drag that over to your current screen.
Yeah, it opened them on my laptop and the other screen, of course. Share this tab instead. So this is what will pop up. So this is all the items that homeowner submitted. And if they, so this was one big PDF, but if they were submitting multiple documents, you could click here and go through and see the different documents associated with it. You can even see a copy of the approval letter or denial letter that was sent out. I know we have until 6, but this is kind of a quick, I'm sorry, 8 o'clock most people's time. It started at 6. I'm on the West Coast on Pacific time, so it's not quite that time for me yet. But does anybody have any other questions on the ARC or on the portal that we can go over?
You have a couple in the chat if you want to look at them.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. Okay, let's go from the top. So one of the questions, not all of our owners have internet/email. Will management team know they have to manually let those owners know whether their ARC request is approved or denied? Yes. So in our system, it is set up. So if there is no email in the system, the letter will be sent via post to those homeowners. Will past ARCs be ported over? So we would have to talk to your management team. I don't know that they'll be put over automatically. Your management team can like upload past ARCs into the system. That will take some time, but I don't think they'll automatically be ported over, but I will confirm that. And then does the manager have to turn that on? Yes. When they go through and turn on the new module for the voting, all those should be posted. Can you set a majority of responses? Like if there's 5 and you only 3 to respond? Yes, we can do that as well. So when they're setting up the settings in the background, if you just want a majority vote, if that's what it happens for your association, that's how the manager will set it up. If you need it to be all of the board members, then it would be set for the 5. Most of the time it's set for majority. So it would be as long as 3 respond. Well, we have the ability to handle an appeal. Mark, do you mean like if it got denied and then the homeowner is appealing the denial?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so we would, yes, the management team can step it back, that same action item, step it back to a resubmittal, or if the homeowner's appealing it, we can handle that as a second option.
So that would have to be customized for
Yeah,
us?
yeah. It would initially, typically, I mean, when somebody's appealing the decision, I would have them send an email with the appeal and go kind of correspond with the board members that way. And then when it comes back to where it's settled, we could put it back through the process of voting.
So handle it offline, then
Yeah.
put it back through the process.
Yep,
Okay, thank you.
of course. Okay, Julie's asking, can you explain again how the approval work if there are 3 ARC committee members? Will it be set up that each member has to approve? Then what is the final step? The PM sees that and sends a letter. So yes, depending on your association. If your association wants to do a majority vote and there's 3 members, and once we hit 2, then the PM is notified to send out the letter. If you want it set up to where all 3 of you, we can set it up for all 3. So it just varies from association to association how you guys want it set up. So if you let your management team know that you want all 3 of you to approve, then they'll set it up that way. And then once the votes come in, the manager is notified, and that's when they send out the letters. So, Tony, your comment, this doesn't fly for our complex. We pay good money for management. I expect management to take care of these things and not require unit owners to go to the portal for a request. Are you referencing you don't want the owners to submit the request, or you don't want the board to have to go in and vote on the ARCs? So I would just speak with your management team. If you don't want this module turned on for yours and you just want to go through email, or you want the management team to approve all ARCs, that's just something to speak with your managers about, and we can customize it to your needs. And Jonathan, are the forms able to be filled out online instead of a Google form to attach the form to? Obviously, a form is needed for those without internet access, but it seems redundant to attach it rather than being part of the form. So when they open up the form, it should be fillable online. Let me go look and see.
Yes, it was a basic fill out of what you were selecting, and then you could attach your attachment. It's a huge step forward compared to the one we had on Vantaca with Terra before. I've been asking for a fill out form like this for 2 years now.
No, gotcha.
And I was told that you guys have more of a team that can customize a lot more than what we had prior.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a fillable form, and then they can just attach their supporting documents to it. Catherine, who trains the owners in this new process? So a lot of them have already been submitting the ARCs online. If they are emailing the ARCs over, we can still put those into the system and do the voting process for the board. Just because they're sending it via email, we can attach it separately. But the management teams should be sending something out, should be helping the homeowners as they do a new submit. I will work with our education committee. Maybe we can put together a flyer, a step-by-step that we can have all of our managers send to the homeowners. That's actually a great idea. I'm glad you brought that up. So we'll work on that and get something sent out to everybody.
You know, I have gone on the website several times recently, and I'm on the board. I find your website very confusing. I have difficulty finding things. And if I'm a homeowner, I probably am not going to be happy going to the Westward website because, you know, I feel like I have to go on there and look for things because I'm on the board. I'm not being paid to do this job, and you guys just keep making this more and more complicated.
So, like I said earlier, if a homeowner wants to just email their applications, we can do that. This is just we are asking, we'd like them to submit this way because everything, all correspondence go through the system. So it's just easier record keeping for the association and for us. And this way the board can get everything that they need on the website, but you can work with your management team to get it set up the way that you guys want it set up.
You know, who is my management team? I know who my manager is. How much of a team does my manager have?
It would be their assistant. So whoever your manager and assistant is, it works on things for your association. So reach out to your manager. They can help you.
Okay.
It was really a simple adoption. My HOA, we have 875 homes, and we switched to this prior to Vantaca with Terra when they were on their old garbage system, and we went to an online haphazard version that they made, and we had 80% adoption within the first 6 months because people were tired of printing the forms, mailing them in. They just went in, dropped their file, and it was done.
You know, I think I think the difference here is you have 875 homeowners that you're dealing with. I'm in a small condo association that has 32 owners. And so I can understand for 875 people all in a homeowner association that having the website function as a place where everyone goes, I will guarantee you that half of our 32 owners have never even been to the Westward website. And so how can I, as someone on the board, expect that people the 32 owners who live here, how can I expect that they are going to follow the rules, which are to get something approved before you do it, when most of them don't ever go to the website, period.
Well, we had originally when we did it, we were in the old version. It was a meeting once a month. You had to wait for approval, and our guidelines said 45 days, and people were waiting almost 2 months to get approval. We went to online, and we were approving, we were averaging, and we still are averaging approval within 3 days.
You know
which
what?
made
And
people
Joe,
very happy.
Joe,
And at 30, as you said, out of your 32, we still have a bunch of residents that don't have internet access, and they still mail it in to Tara, who then enters it in, and they follow the old process.
yeah, well, we have owners here who don't even have copies of the declaration and bylaws.
Sounds like,
So, you know, I've
Taylor's
got
opening
other
up.
battles I am fighting here.
Okay,
Which-
Adrian, take over because
Yeah.
we don't have all night.
Right. So Kathleen, I think we need to you need to discuss those issues with your manager. So you can maybe set up a training with your homeowners on how to access the system. If they don't have internet, they don't want to use the system, it's okay. They can still drop things off. They can still mail things. This is for those homeowners that are doing things and for these associations that are using the system. This is optional. It does not have to be turned on for your association. We're just trying to get it equal across the board so that all of them are working except for in those special circumstances. So this is for ones that are using it. Okay, so let's go back to the comments. Juliet asks, will you send an email letter to the board? No, it's set up and how it is set up. Yes, I can speak with our marketing team that has all the board emails and ask them to send something out to everybody once they're set up. And I will let the managers know to do that as well so that you know it's ready to go. Shall, after approval, can the president download a signed approval sheet from the association's ARG application? Yes, so anything that you guys have gone through, once you go back into that ARG and view those attachments, you can download anything that went through the process. Andrew, yes, this video will be posted on our education website and copies will go out to everybody for review afterwards, along with a copy of the PowerPoint. We're going to send that to everybody so you can just click through if you want instead of watching the video. Mindy, when/how will the architectural requirements be loaded? If they are not currently loaded into your documents, that's something the management team can do. On our side, all your documents and forms should be uploaded already into the system. So if they're not, reach out to your manager and ask them to get those uploaded. Okay, and that is everything in the comments. Does anybody else have any other questions, concerns about the process?
Are we going to move on to invoicing?
We weren't doing invoicing tonight. That's but I can answer any questions you might have on invoicing.
Where do you find invoices? Because it's not on this page. So is it a separate platform?
So are you guys
approval?
Are you guys using Strong Room for your association? That's a completely different.
So we need to go to Strong Room for it?
Yeah. Strong Room is where you would approve invoices.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So Jonathan mentioned there was a training on Strong Room last month. It should be posted on our website in education, where you can watch that. Or Carmel, I can. I'm taking down your name. I can email that training over to you.
I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions for anybody? Okay, hold on. We got some coming through. Can all board members have access to view invoices on Strong Room? Yes, if you talk to your manager, they can get you set up with that. And Joe, yes, I will email you as well. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, I thank you everybody for coming. Marianne, same thing. Marianne asks, is there any way I can prove as a proxy? So, Devon board member, if you reach out to your manager, again, she can have accounting get you set up as another approver so that you can do that. All right. My question. When I click on action items and arcs, my items only is automatically checked and I have to uncheck it every time I see new arcs. So yeah, it does do that for everybody. The my items is if you have anything currently open to review. If you unclick that, it's going to give you things that were recently done already. But if it's you have an action, then the my items only will pop, then it will pop up. But if you want to review any others, you unclick that. Yeah, and I agree. It would be nice to have it default to that, and that's something I can ask Vantaca. Right now, it automatically checks it for open items. But all right, if there's nothing else, then thank you everybody for attending, and you will get an email with the recording. It will get posted on our website, and we'll also share the PowerPoint that was sent out to everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great evening. Oh, Julie, I'm going to put my email in the chat real quick here. Oh my gosh.